we want to help people. That's why we're coaches. And so just like Renee said, if you are feeling frustrated or down or confused, please reach out to me as well. I am happy to help anyone along this journey. I will be talking later on about time management and how to best use your time as a new coach. And I look forward to doing that with all of you in a few minutes.
Thank you. Okay, Melanie, can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Melanie Hargrove. I live in Waynesboro, Georgia. I've only been a coach not much longer than Emily. I've been coaching for 8 months. So I hope I can be an encouragement to those that are on here that feel maybe you're not adequate enough, because I'll be talking later about mindset and comparison. I'm a certified public accountant. I work full-time and I coach. And I'm here to tell you that you can do both. But I will say this, my goal has been from the beginning and continues to be able to quit my accounting job. I've been doing that for 23 years and I want to coach full time. And I'm also, I don't really have a whole lot of fun facts either. I guess being an accountant, you can be pretty boring, except I did do a backflip off the diving board this past weekend to outshine my little 11-year-old. So I guess that's a fun fact. And I survived and lived to tell, and that was leg day and booty day. So, but no, I'm here and I hope I can encourage you all to let you know that this is, if you feel called and blessed to do this, you can do it without being a nutritionist, without being a fitness expert. You can do it while working a full-time job. It's just having the right mindset. I am currently working on being recertified to be a group exercise instructor. I used to do that back in 2010, 2011. I'm also working on becoming a personal trainer because I've been inspired by so many coaches over these past 8 months. Like Renee is one, Lee, Vivian Gill. This isn't a community that is like no other. And I'll talk to you guys later too about connecting and reaching out to other coaches here. And you will learn so much from each other. And I've never seen a company where it doesn't matter if I'm on a team with this coach or that coach. I've had so many coaches that have helped me. I didn't know how to do a Google Doc. When I had to create a waiting list, I was like, I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know what Google Doc is. I'd never done an Instagram story in my life. And I just kind of reached out to some other coaches and how they were so giving. And I thought, this is pretty cool. So I've done my best. I've had other coaches reach out, and I'm by no means an expert, but to be giving and to give back. And I do think God will bless you tenfold. So I'm here to tell you, you can do this and not be an expert in fitness, not be an expert in nutrition. You just have to have the passion to want to help others, and you got to work for it. So talk to you guys later.
Okay, I think it's my turn. Hey everyone, my name is Ellen Ludwig. So excited to be here with you today. And I started when Emily started in November of 2018, totally jumped right into it. But I come to the table with a little bit of a different background. I actually was a health and fitness coach with another company for 4 years. So I've been a coach for 5 years. So I'm not quite new to all of this, but definitely, as Emily said, I am always learning. I do not have anything mastered. In fact, I diligently need to take notes on Emily's time management, which I always do because that's like something I struggle with. So anyways, that's a little bit of background about me and coming into this program. I will be talking to you today about social media because that is something, again, I've been doing for a long time and I have so much fun with it. So I can't wait to talk to you about that. And a couple of fun facts. One, if you are in the Faster Way membership community, I am the new bar instructor, so you guys will see me there. Those workouts will be available this week. I cannot wait. God has seriously blessed me with every step of like my life and my journey along the way. to get to where I am. It is so crazy how I've been reflecting on that with even like starting my other, coaching business 5 years ago to I got certified in bar last fall because a local studio wanted me to join them, which I'm no longer with. And now I'm doing the Faster Way bar workouts. It is seriously just incredible. And this is an opportunity that I actually was praying about all last year, and just everything has happened for a reason. And I love the way that this company is like moving at the speed of lightning, and also just empowering all of us to do it together. I mean, Amanda, her spirit is not like, oh, I'm the end all, I'm doing this alone. She wants us to do this together, and I absolutely love it. So that's one fact. Another one is I've lived in 7 states, and I am not a military family. So grew up, lived all over the place, and I have Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois covered. So it's kind of like I got all that, but I'm currently in Indiana. So that is it. Super excited, Rachel.
Yeah. Oh, ladies, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing just a little glimpse of your coaching experience. And then also just a fun fact about you guys. I didn't know some of those, so I enjoy getting to know a little bit more about you as well. I'm going to transition here into a little bit of an emotional place, and we're going to talk about your why. I think it is so emotional when we talk about our why, because it is really what drew us to become a coach. Our why is what propelled us to pursue this and to really want to help others find an incredible new lifestyle. I think too, your why is something you need to hold on to, and you need to always have it ingrained in your mind. So when you experience those low times in your business, because you're going to experience some of that, or discouraging times, you got to remember why you're doing this. And that is going to give you passion to propel you forward. I think it's also something you just got to have ingrained in your mind. So when you get up in the morning and you're going to serve your clients, you got to remember, this is why I'm doing this. I'm going to meet my clients' needs today. I'm going to meet them where they're at. I'm going to help them. You got to have it ingrained in your mind. And I think even when you're experiencing those successful times, you're up on top and you're doing great in your business, you got to remember your why, because it is going to humble you and it is going to ground you. And that's just going to help you keep your priorities right. And I think, Renee, you do such an incredible job with this. You like live and breathe your why. And so I'm going to transition it to you. If you could share with us a little bit about your why and how it has become so important in your coaching career.
Sure. Well, thank you. So I think it's really important that we're starting to talk about the why, because that's really the foundation of everything you do. And if you think about, you're here as a Faster Way to Fat Loss coach, and you want to build a successful coaching business. And it's like anything in life, if we don't have a strong foundation, as Rachel just said, if we don't wake up every morning,
Now I don't know how to feel like.
with our why, then, as we start to build our business, we don't have that strong foundation. So that is tip number one, is to, first of all, what is your why? And I think what's important is that you go back, take yourself out of the coaching, have your coaching hat on, and go back to, why did you start the Faster Way to Fat Loss? Whenever that was, whether you came in and you did the program a year ago, a couple years ago, or maybe last fall. We all come to the Faster Way to Fat Loss with a why. For me, I wasn't even looking for the Faster Way to Fat Loss. I'd been in fitness since 1984. You remember, I'm 53 years old. And I'd been in the fitness industry for 53 years, working as a personal trainer, group exercise director, former critical care nurse. And I had gone through menopause 3 years ago, and osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, and I found the Faster Way to Fat Loss. And what intrigued me was I knew what I had been doing wasn't working anymore. So my why was, I had belly fat, I had achy joints, and I needed to get my muscle tone back, because I had lost, even though I had all the knowledge, what I had been doing wasn't working. So for me, my why was I wanted to get back to feeling good and healthier and stronger and more energized after going through menopause. So that's where I started off my why, okay? And then once I experienced the benefits of the Faster Way to Fat Loss community program itself and became a coach, why did I want to become a coach? Was it so that I could add another thing to my life? Because if you've heard my testimony, I almost said no to becoming a coach because I had done so many things in my life previously. And I was thinking, what are people going to think? But I was like, no, my why for starting the program now, I was thinking there's other people that have the same why. There's other women out there who'd been through menopause, who had been experiencing some of the same things that I had been through. And so then I took my why and I kind of propelled it on to other people out there. And I thought to myself, well, if it affected me and the reason that I came to the Faster Way to Fat Loss, there must be other people out there. So I took it from my own why, and then I projected it out there to other people's why. And then I even took it a step further. I've got a daughter who's in her 20s, and I know, being in the fitness industry for so many years, there's a lot of information out there in the fitness industry. There's a lot of the fad diets, the quick fix things. And I thought, there are young girls out there who are starving themselves and doing all these crazy things. And so as a parent, I said, I want to be able to be a voice out there and to share good information that I can help even people that aren't in the menopausal age. So the younger ones too. So my why just wasn't focused on women in my age group, but I thought, I'm going to take this out and help anybody out there. If they're living and breathing, the Faster Way to Fat Loss is for them. That's really how that I thought about this. It was for everybody. Okay. So I think one of the things that you can take away from thinking about your why, that it's not always about you either. It's about, as Rachel said, who can we serve? Who can we serve? And one of the things that I think as a new coach, a lot of times, you come to this coaching opportunity and you're nervous. You're like, well, I don't want people to think I'm trying to sell them, and I don't want to bug people, and I don't want to think people, that I'm trying to sell them something. But no, take that off of yourself and think about, how can I serve other people? Because just as you were drawn to the Faster Way to Fat Loss with the why, there are other people, and I've said this before, that you are an answer to their prayer. So if you can kind of shift your mindset to, it's not about you, but you're going to help serve somebody else in getting to their why, whether it's to, get healthier, stronger, more energized, have more energy to be a mom, have more energy to play with their grandchildren, to get people off of these fad diets, these quick fix things. It really expands it, and it takes a little pressure off. So that's really, really important when you're thinking about your why. The other thing as new coaches that I think that's important, as Rachel was talking about earlier, when you wake up every day, you've got to think of, what is your why? What is the reason that you're doing this? We've all got a million things that we could be doing in a day. And I know we're going to talk about some time management. We're all busy. And if you don't remember your why and how important it is to you, you're going to get off in a million different directions. You're going to be like a tossing ship, like a sailboat. The wind blows you this way, the wind blows you that way, and you're not going to stay focused. So knowing your why, what drives you, that is the foundation that helps you to build that successful coaching business, okay? And I do want to just pause briefly for this, and I know that Melanie's going to talk about comparison, but the importance of your why has got to be, it's got to speak to your spirit. It's got to be from your heart. It's not just about writing some goals on a piece of paper or jotting down your why and having it on the bulletin board in your office, but it really has to speak to your spirit. It has to be that thing that just keeps you going, and it keeps you going on the days.
Radio if you want.
I think somebody needs to mute themselves, please. But that why has to it's like the rudder that keeps steering your ship forward, that keeps you going no matter what, that keeps you going no matter if you've got 2 people in one of your rounds or 200 people, okay? That why is making your heart beat. And that's why it has to be so important to you, and it has to be personal to yourself, okay? And that is really key, because sometimes, I see with new coaches, maybe their first round, they have 5 people. And that's what I had in my first round. That was, but I said, you know what, God, I was like, these 5 people, I'm the answer to their prayer. And I have something that I'm going to share with them that they need. Okay. So having that why, and that why that makes your heart beat, that keeps your spirit strong, that propels you to keep going, whether you're having a good day or whether you're having a bad day. That is what's key. And that's why it's got to be more than just something that you write down on a piece of paper, because that's an exercise that you have to do for the day. All right. So let it get personal. Make it about, not just about you, but about the people that you're going to serve. Serve them and be consistent. That's the thing too. Your why doesn't just change, whether the sun is shining or the rain's coming, or you're having a great round, or you're having, a round with 2 people in it. Your why keeps you consistent. Your why keeps you on that path. It's your tracks to run on, that you'll keep going no matter what. All right. So let that just be something that you take into your heart today. Let it be the little thing that steers you forward, and you're going to do a great job, and know that I'm cheering you on.
Oh, I love that, Renee. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I got to just share one thing that stood out to me. Your why separates you from everybody else. And I just got to share this brief little story about Renee. So I came in from a corporate round, didn't feel like I had anybody to reach out to, reached out to Renee. She gave me a personal phone call, guys. I mean, that is true community. And she helped me figure out, like, my mindset wasn't in the right place. I didn't really know what my why was. And she helped me figure that out. And so what I think is incredible about Renee is that her why extends well beyond herself, as she has preached. Like, it needs to extend beyond yourself. It extends, I think, beyond her clients, and it goes into our coaching community. She is just a catalyst for change, and she loves to be a tool to help see lives changed and transformed and encouraged. And I just think you're such a blessing to our community, Renee. So I just want to thank you for that. One thing I want to mention too, like, your why, it should be so important. Like, if you haven't not figured out what your why, if you haven't like written it down yet, it is like a thing that we ask you to do, but it should be so personal to you. Like, write it on your heart, as Renee said. And you know what? Write it down on a piece of paper, put it in the mirror in the bathroom, put it on the fridge. Make sure you are so focused on that why, you're not caught off by the little things that could throw you off, or the frustrations of the day, whatever it might be. Remember your why, and remember you're about seeing change in people's lives. And so I just want to encourage you to do that. And remember, like, your why is so genuine and authentic to you. It needs to come across in every static post, every live video that you do, every conversation that you have with anybody about faster rate of fat loss. So thank you, Renee, for that. I'm going to go ahead and transition to another topic. We are going to talk about time management. And I think it's something that we all tend to struggle with. I know as a new coach, when I came in, I really struggled with this. And you're doing a lot right now. You are studying that curriculum to make sure you are prepped and prepared for your clients. You're learning all sorts of different forms of technology, how to use that and incorporate it. And so you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And what we see with a lot of our new coaches, we see that they're spending a lot of time, not necessarily in the right things. So they're spending a ton of energy and time in something that's not going to propel their business forward. And Ellen alluded to this earlier. The last time, Emily, you spoke on this topic, I have my pen right now because I know I'm going to get something from you that I didn't get in the past about time management. You do this so well. And so I'm going to transition it to you. What are some tips and strategies that you have for time management? How have you balanced your other commitments and truly made your business fit into your life and not the other way around?
Well, thanks, Rachel. It's funny. I went back into the last Accelerator talk looking for the video to see what I said. I have the same tips, of course, because I do them, so I know what I'm sharing. But I was like, is there something I said last time that I need to say and I couldn't find it? So we're going to give it a go, y'all, and see how well I can share my tips with you all. I don't know if many of you are like me, but if I have a busy day, I get a lot more done than if a Sunday when I only have a few things on my schedule. And so I think those of you that are coming from a full-time job right now, or if you don't have one and you're managing it with your other things, I think you'll find this useful, because if you're just trying to squeeze in an hour here and there, or if you have a whole day to kind of figure out what you're doing, you still have to manage your time in the same way. So as a new coach, I came from a desk job. I started coaching full-time when I started coaching, but my whole career up until this time had been at a desk job. I take tasks really well. And do them and wait for the next task to show up in my job. So when you become a coach and you're the one responsible for figuring out what you're supposed to do every day, that can be a little frustrating and a little hard for you to kind of navigate. Of course, that's what the Accelerator will help you do, as well as the Tier 2 option 2 will help you kind of figure that out. And goal setting and making your goals has a lot to do with that. I'm not going to talk about goal setting necessarily today very much, but I want to start out by I think I heard this at the coach conference, but I'm not sure. But it really stuck with me. And I think it had something to allude to. Your schedule should reflect the business that you want, not the business that you have. And I think that that's really important as you start out. If you only have a handful of clients, or one client as you're starting out, or none right now, some of you haven't even launched around yet, wake up every day like you are Amanda Tress and you are that queen of business. And how are you going to run that day? It shouldn't look any different than if you have 0 clients or 1, or if you have 400 clients. Your time should be spent growing your business, responding to clients, or attracting new clients, but your time should be the same. So as you're starting out, wake up every day, put your feet on the floor, and know that you have a business to run, and how are you going to do it today? So you all really want, now I've talked enough about all these little things. You all want to know, like, what am I supposed to be doing, right? So first thing you have to do in order to really effectively use your time is know what your priorities and your goals are. There's a goal sheet that the Faster Way has that you'll have access to, but it's pretty simple. Write down your main goal for the day. But your main goals need to go ahead and include your other things. Family time, if you're going to, dinner time with your family, if you are in bus line, picking up your kids or whatever, like, I want you to prioritize everything that you're doing that day, or list it, and then go through and prioritize like the most important parts of your day. And then you want to time block. And I think that time blocking is the most efficient way to use your time. If you like colors and you're color coordinated, get out that Google Calendar and start using it and time blocking your time. If you are a pencil and paper girl like me, everybody does it differently, but I love a planner. If I can get a beautiful white crisp paper planner in front of me, I'm good to go. Highlighters, do whatever works for you. But block your time out effectively. There's a thing called the power hour that some people do every morning to kind of set the tone for their day. Depending on how much time you have, give yourself a power 15 minutes to organize your day. Don't decide you can't do something because you don't have the same time somebody else does. Just make it work for you. If you have 15 minutes in the morning while you're drinking your coffee or before kids get up or whenever that is, go ahead and make that plan for your day. It can take 5 minutes. It's kind of like what we're telling our clients, like, tracking your food is not going to take you hours a day. Eventually, it'll just take you 5 to 10 minutes to put everything in and pre-plan. You're doing the same thing for your time. So pre-plan your time, make a plan for the day. Again, it doesn't take as much time as I'm maybe making it sound. But then the most important part of after deciding what you're going to do with your day and what your time blocks will look like is, what are you going to do in that time block? You can't just put an hour, like from 3 to 4, and say work on Fast Way to Fat Loss. Like, you're going to sit down at your computer like I did and be like, oh, I don't know, what am I supposed to be doing? Should I write a post? Should I go take some pictures? Should I, I've wasted so much time wondering about how I should use my time, that if you just already have that idea set in place and set in motion, once you sit down, you'll know better. So Lindsay Murray will tell you time and time again that the #1 way you should spend your time is attracting clients, responding to clients, and making those connections. with potential clients or current clients. So definitely spend some of your time doing that. I'm sure you'll hear from her in the future about that too, as our marketing guru. But also, when you're sitting in that block of time, it's going to be different for everyone. Someone like Ellen, who's really good at social media, won't need to really plan out maybe as much as someone who just joined Instagram. Also, think about what your struggles are and identify those in that time block, especially as you're starting out. Take an hour or two to work on Instagram or whatever it is that you feel like you're deficient in. Again, we'll talk about comparison, I think, later, but don't worry about what somebody else is doing or what somebody else is spending their time. This needs to be reflective of what you need to do and what you need. How will your business grow from it? So definitely time block, and definitely know how you're spending that time in your block. Also, if possible, I have 2 things that you can do that I think were big for me. One, remove distractions. Try to make your time as zoned in and focused as you can. I know that's easier said than done a lot of times, but instead of trying to like write some creative posts and your kids are running around, wait till nap time. Those are just some pretty simple things you can do, of course. Or I saw Lauren post the other day that she goes to her office, which is the library, just because it's summer and her kids are home or whatever. So find some place for focused time without distractions. And another thing that really helped me was this might sound kind of ridiculous, but getting a dual monitor. So I have a laptop. I just got an extra monitor off Amazon so that I could space things out and see things more clearly. And it just saves a lot of time from not clicking through all these other things, and you can actually spread your stuff out and be a little bit more productive with your time. So think about things that frustrate you while you're doing your tasks, and think about what do you need to make that less frustrating for you, because that will save you time in the long run. So the next thing I want to kind of talk about, and I think this might be kind of the last thing I talk about, is how to manage your time when you're actually running your rounds. I made this mistake when I ran my first round. I did good running my first round, I thought. I don't know. All of the posts are provided for you, which is great.
Thank you for my name is Sydney. Did you have a reward card you want to use today?
Yes. Sorry. Christy, could you please mute yourself?
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So when I ran my first round, all the posts are provided. All of the posts are provided for you, which is great, but you're going to sprinkle in your own flair. Like you might type up a list of high carb food options or low carb food options, or you might want to share some recipes. Little things like that you're going to be doing in your rounds. Well, I did all that in my first round, and then my second round came around and I was like, oh no, I have to figure out what I said and go back into my first round and dig all that information up to post in my second round. So here's this number 1 time-saving tip for running your round. Create a document, a Word document or something, or Notepad, whatever you want to use that's easy for you. When you write your posts in your first round, copy that into a Word document, and then underneath it, put links to your recipes that you want to share or anything extra that you added to your Facebook group. Put that in your Word document. Then continue to do that through all of your days. Then when your second round pops up, all you have to do is copy, paste, and then you know exactly what kind of extra stuff that you're adding, so you don't forget to share that content in the second round. Because your first round, man, you've got a lot of content. You've got a lot of things you want to share. You are motivated and pumped. And the second one rolls around and you're like, oh, did I share that with them? Because it gets a little confusing, especially if you overlap your rounds. So definitely make a document that has everything streamlined day by day. All you got to do is copy and paste moving forward. It makes it so much more easier for you. I have one more tip for time management, and I actually just learned this, and so I feel a little silly about this. I probably could have been using this in many options for the last decade, but if you have an iPhone and you, so as you know, Instagram is a, iPhone phone friendly app, or what, more so than Facebook, of course. So if you have an iPhone, you need to connect your notes option to your iCloud. You can type just like you would normally type on your keyboard on your computer, save it to your notes in iCloud, and then you can pull up that content directly from your notes from your phone and then paste that into Instagram. It has saved me so much time. I used to go to Facebook, copy my content, or it was just a lot of back and forth. But if you can connect your notes to iCloud, you can just type in it like you're typing in a paragraph, or open a Word document and copy it into notes, whatever. But if you're traveling or you're on the go and you don't have your computer, any content that you want can easily be saved in your notes section so that you can pull that. It's also a lot easier to type on a keyboard, for me at least, than an iPhone. So it's just a great way to kind of get your content on both things, your laptop and your phone, to kind of save you some time in that regard. So I used to spend a lot of time trying to copy and paste and writing content on Instagram with my thumbs constantly, and so there is also, this isn't really a time saver, it's just a fun little thing. There's a website that you can put your Instagram post into and copy it, and it will give you the gaps and spaces that you're looking for. As you're learning Instagram, you'll notice as you type it up, all the things might be scrunched together, or some people might make little dots, and you'll spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to format your Instagram post, which is, again, such a not good use of time. So, but if you don't know, what else are you supposed to do? So there is a fun little, I will put it in the comments of this main Accelerator page, and you can save it to your phone. That way, when you copy your text into this thing and copy it back, everything is spaced out and beautiful, just like you want your readers to see it. So I'll post that in the main page. But I just want to leave, it's pretty much all my tips for time management right now, but I want to leave you all with just kind of a quote that I saw about that could be anything, but related to time management, and that's, do not be afraid of going slowly, be afraid of standing still. So don't worry if it's taking you a long time to figure something out. Don't quit. Figure it out. Make it work for you. As long as you're doing something, then you're doing what you need to do to better yourself as a coach and in the program. So if you guys have any questions or tips or need any help, I am happy to just reach out to me. I'm happy to help any way that I can.
Oh, thank you, Emily. That last quote, I absolutely love. That's so true. Like, just keep moving forward. And I need that app, guys. I think all of us need that app, because I'm still doing that busy work of trying to figure out how to make my post look good. So I'm going to be looking for that, Emily. So thank you for sharing that. I also love, like, guys, you're in the Accelerator right now. There are 100 questions being asked. What I encourage you to do is exactly what Emily said. Start saving those questions, put it in a Google Doc. So when you're asked, hey, how do I incorporate running? Or if I want to run a marathon, how do I incorporate that into my workouts? Like, whatever the question might be, use that as an incredible resource so you can reflect back on that and go to. She also brought up, Emily, I love that you brought up the blocking. And I'm going to kind of mention what Lindsay Murray has suggested to us in blocking that time out. She is like Emily said, the guru, the queen of marketing. Number one, she encouraged us to spend our time in the first block networking and outreaching. That is your first priority. It's most important to really outreach into your community, to be able and willing to talk about faster way to fat loss easily. You want to really build and invest in relationships. We're not about selling a product, right? We are about encouraging and showing others how this lifestyle has changed our lives, and that should speak volumes. But you got to be able to network. You got to outreach to be able to see the impact. Two, she suggests focus on your content, just as Emily had said, that content creation is so important. You want to create valuable posts. We're not trying to sell our clients, we're trying to help them. So think about, like, how can I help my client today? What is something that helped me? So speak to your ideal client and realize, like, your posts shouldn't look anything like anybody else's posts. They are going to be unique to you. And then the third block of time is going to be the nitty-gritty detail work that everybody, unless you're crazy, hates, okay? And that's where you're, like, organizing your clients, you're figuring out all the emails, you're doing all the scheduling. Now, I know some of you actually like that, but that stuff, that kind of comes towards the end here. I mean, you don't want to save it for last, but that's what Lindsay actually suggests. She does say too, like as you scale your business and as you grow, number 2 and 3, content creation and then the nitty-gritty busy detail work, that can be given and taken over by somebody else. You can pay somebody else to do that. But your job, you still need to be networking, reaching out, building and investing in relationships. All right, so thank you, Emily. We're going to now transition into something I think, again, we all struggle with, and it is a topic of comparison. I think we struggle a little bit more, I know personally, when I came in as a new coach, because a lot of us have a tendency to compare our beginning to somebody else's middle, and you just can't. We don't want you to do that. You all know the common quote by Theodore Roosevelt that comparison is a thief of joy, and it's so true, yet we still do it. Really, that comparison is going to be like a vacuum. It just sucks the joy right out of you because all of a sudden you start thinking you're inadequate compared to somebody else. And I think like that comparison is going to hold us in bondage to envy, to low self-esteem, I think to dissatisfaction and unrest. And so we don't want our community, we don't want you going on Facebook and like you're going to be following a lot of people that are promoting faster way to fat loss. We don't want you comparing yourself to one another. We want you to be able to use our community as a support system. Let us be a backbone that supports you, encourages you, and uplifts you. And Melanie, you do such an incredible job preaching this to your clients, preaching this to the coaches that come under you. And so I'm going to transition it over to you. Would you mind sharing with us how your mindset has been in growing a successful business and how you've dealt with this very topic?
Sure. And when you asked me to talk about this, I because I work on my mindset daily. One of the biggest things I struggled with when I became a coach with Fast Way to Fat Loss is because I've been this way my whole life. I'm very competitive. I do work hard, but I constantly compare my success to other success or what others are doing, and then I would let it determine my success. And so I realized as a coach, and I think we all had to work on this when we were just a client of Fast Away, was your mindset is you become what you believe. And if you believe I can't do this or believe I won't be able to be as good as this, then that's what you'll become. So I knew I had to work on my mindset before I could even start a round. I became certified, I think it was in August. I didn't start my first round until October 1st. One was because I worked full time and I wanted to make sure I was ready, but I knew I had to get my mind in the right place because I wanted to come in and be a coach that was confident, still insecure in some things, but have my mind in the right place. And one of the things I started doing, because I learned over just my journey with Fast Away, was I started reading the books. Like I'm telling you, The Big Leap, Girl Wash Your Face, and 100 Days to Brave changed my life. And it gave me that stepping stone to say, you know what, I can do this. Because I told my husband, I'll never forget when I started and I was about to get my round going, I started following all these coaches. And I said, oh my gosh, like this one over here is, like I said before, you know, she already owns her own gym. This one over here already has 30,000 followers. This one's a nutritionist. Who would pick me over her? I mean, have you seen her pictures? Like, she looks amazing, or her food is perfectly plated. And I'm like, I don't have that. And that's when I learned you got to put blinders on, and this is your journey. And to be you, to be authentic, to be real, that's what people are attracted to. Not trying to be what someone else is. So if you go follow me on social media, you will see most of my workouts I do at 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't have on makeup. My hair's wound up. You know, I'm at work. I'm eating at my desk. I take a picture of my food. It's in a plastic bowl on a plate. I mean, it's not perfectly plated. My lighting is not amazing. And you just have to learn that this is your journey, and you've got to set your mind that this is me. And you will, though, be amazed at how you will improve and how you'll change. And I look back months ago and I'm like, I don't even reckon, like, it's crazy because I literally would take from other coaches, you know, ask them questions. If you see, you know, I had one lady tell me the other day, or when I was at the Fast Away conference, she called me the content queen. You know how funny that is? I told her, I said, you don't understand, like, I'm an accountant. The creative side of my brain does not function that well. So I hire someone to help me with my content. So it's not, and I said, and that's why you don't look at someone and compare and think, God, they got it all together. Like, look at her. She works full time and she coaches. She's doing a workout. Look at that amazing post. It's not all me. I've reached out to those where I need help with. I did after a few months. I spent $200 and I had some really good lifestyle photos done. And now I use that in my post. I repost a bunch. So just know that you are here for a reason and that you are right where you need to be. And once you get that confidence in and you get that mindset, you will blossom. I had no clue because I looked at myself as, I'm just an accountant from Waynesboro, Georgia. We're known as the bird dog capital of the world, by the way. Like, I'm nobody. I'm no health expert. I'm no fitness expert. I'm not a nutritionist. And I let all that go. And I said, but you know what? I have a passion to help others. I love this. I want to learn. You got to have the work ethic. You got to put the work in. You got to treat this like a business. So that's the one thing I came in. I said, you know what? I want to use that coach portal. I went through it like back and forwards. I was in the coach community. You need to stay active. You need to watch the trainings. If you want to succeed, you have to work this like a business. And you got to be coachable. You got to be willing to reach out to others. And then once you know something, share it. Because here's what I want to tell you. When you share and you give back, not just to your clients, but to other coaches, you will be blessed tenfold. And I'm just going to give a shout out to Teresa Carlson because she was one of those. She is a Fast Way to Fat Loss coach, and I say, go follow her. We're not on the same team, and we were in the same coach recruitment round. And I remember she posted a waiting list, and I was like, hey, wait. So I just sent her a message. I was like, how did you do that? And she told me about Google Doc. I'm like, I don't know. And she kind of walked me through it. And we have become like this. She has taught me that if you give back, doesn't matter if you're on my team or if you're not, you give back, you help others. It's reciprocated in your life. So I'm here to say, make connections. That's what's huge. That's what I love about Fast Way to Fat Loss is when Amanda says we rise together, that is exactly, and you need to have that mentality. So be coachable, watch the trainings, develop a passion for learning. That's like I said, you know, I mean, some of you may not be like me. My goal is I want to retire from accounting. So I want to learn all things health and wellness. So I'm working on my group exercise certification. I'm working on my personal training. You can dream big. And that's what I'm doing is dream big. And you will go further than you've ever thought that you could. But to me, the biggest and the most important thing is to have a love for people. Your passion and your desire should not be from coming how much money you can make, but to the people that you can help. Because and what I mean by that, when I came in a Faster Way to Fat Loss, I was not concerned about being premier. My goal was not about, I want to see if I can get premier. My goal was I want to build a tribe. I want to build a tribe of amazing women that I can coach, that I can teach. And I'm telling you guys, the financial success will come when you focus. Your passion is on helping others. I've been blessed. I'm not like some of the other coaches. There are some that have coached thousands of women. But I can say for an accountant from Waynesboro, Georgia, who's been doing this 8 months, I've coached almost 200 women. I now have 4 coaches under me, 1 away from Premier. But that's just how God has just blessed me on this journey, is because I truly feel like I have succeeded because I put my passion for others first. And I've put those blinders on and I'm focusing on me. And it's hard because I'm telling you, you're going to see where others are doing, but reach out to them. Oftentimes you're going to see in this community that people want to help you and they will gladly share with you. Or like when I shared with the lady that stopped me at the conference and said, oh, you're the content queen. You do such a great job. Guess what? She's now using the lady that I use to help do her content. So don't sit there and think somebody's got it all together. I'm just as insecure. I have so much to learn, but there are some amazing ladies that are in here, people like Ellen, Emily, and Renee, and it is a blessing. And when I went to the conference, it is a blessing to be surrounded by a group of people who want to lift you up. And I hope that you all come in with that same passion and desire, and it not be about, I'm trying to top the other one, or I want to be on the top of the list. I mean, we all want to be there. We all want to have financial success, but, and just keep your mindset right. And your mindset's something you're going to have to work on daily. Like I said, when I was asked to even do this, I thought, I don't even know why they're asking me. Like, I don't. But, you know, you're right where you need to be. And our goal is, if we can be a blessing to others and to help change lives, that's why we're here. So I wish you all the best. Please reach out to me. I'll help you any way that I can. And the best is yet to come.
Aw. Melanie, I love that. I feel like all I can do to respond to that is like whoop and holler and say amen, and then maybe start tap dancing. Maybe Renee will start doing that. That was so good. It does my heart so good too. So thank you for sharing that. I love to, one of the things that you had mentioned is just using our community. And we emphasize in the Accelerator, find an accountability partner. Find a group of women, and we are a huge group of women and men, I'm sorry, men, I'm leaving you out, that you can go to, that you feel comfortable asking questions. And guys, all of us coaches, I think we all feel comfortable being willing to help each other out. I mean, that is what truly separates Fast Away from any other, program on the market, is our incredible community. We live authentically and genuinely, and we're open, and I just love that. So if you're struggling today with just comparison, one thing to just keep your head down, focus on your messaging, and realize, like, you might be seeing every other Faster Way to Fat Loss coaches post, but your clients aren't seeing that, okay? Your clients, they're probably just following you, if not a small handful of individuals. So speak to them. Don't worry about what other coaches are doing. But when you love something that you're doing, reach out to them, encourage them, because they're doing something right, but also be willing, just be willing to ask, hey, can you help me do this? And I guarantee, as she said, what comes around goes around. You're willing to help, somebody else is going to be willing to help you back. So I love everything about this. This journey is not going to happen overnight, but we're all on this journey kind of together, and we're all going to reach our goals a little bit differently. So set proper expectations for yourself and compare yourself to those expectations. Nobody else's, just those expectations you set for yourself. All right, we are going to transition here to our last topic. We're going to talk about attracting your people, your clients. And really the best way to attract them is through social media. On social media, you can really cast a wide net. It's not like we're casting like a single line, reeling in that one little fish. Now, hey, it's okay if you got like a small group, that's okay. Love and invest and pour in them. But social media is going to give you a stepping stool. It's just going to elevate and give you a platform where you can really share, and really it gives you unlimited opportunities. So Ellen, I know that you quit your job to stay home with your daughter. I love hearing your story. And you started doing like workouts and uploading those to like social media and sharing that. And here you are now doing our bar workouts and VIP, which I'm so excited to do. I love your enthusiasm, your joy and excitement that comes across in social media. You truly love doing it. And so I'm just going to ask you real quick, if you could share your testimony with us, how you find and attract your ideal clients. How you attract and find your clients using social media.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, everyone, so many good tips here. And I mean, this kind of, what everyone has said kind of leads up to social media, because this is your platform to share, everything. And here's the deal with social media. You need to look at, we are lucky. We are so lucky that we have social media. I cannot imagine being in this business like back in the day when people were trying to like strike up conversations at the grocery store, meet people that way. Oh my gosh, that would be so hard. And I think that there is an opportunity to do that, but it's so amazing that we have Instagram and Facebook and this amazing network. I want to just start out with a quote that I shared in the in our coach information event, but I think this is really powerful. because we all, I think, are scared of social media. I think it's probably like your biggest fear in this part of the business is what you are afraid to do is a clear indication of what you need to do next. You guys, you have to share. Social media is scary, but you have to get over your fears. And I was scared just like you years ago too. Like I still like these time hop, like it pulls up pictures, Facebook from like 5 years ago. And I would have like a picture of my daughter and like 3 people liked it. And like nobody, it was like nothing. I didn't do anything on social media. So, I just knew that if I wanted to be successful with my business, social media was the thing that I had to do, and I had to get over it. And like Melanie said, she's an accountant. She does not feel like she's very creative. You guys, my brain, I do not have the creative brain either. And so that was my fear too. I'm like, I'm not creative, and I want to like write creative posts, but I also realized that I actually was more creative than I thought when I just started speaking from the mind. And everybody has those thoughts. I don't know about you. I mean, we all have those like a million thoughts that are going through our head every single day. So essentially how I treat my social media is like whatever's going through my brain, especially when I'm in the shower and especially when I'm working out, that's when I think about like what I want to talk about either that day or maybe that week. I'm kind of like thinking about this is what's on my mind for the week. You guys, there is something that is going on in your life that you can share. And actually, I want to start out by saying this is your story and this is who you are. Everybody has a story, okay? I have a story of I've been into working out forever. I got into really over exercising in college. And that has sort of led me to where I am today with all of this. And I found the faster way by, now I love, like, I'm not over exercising. I'm eating a ton, and it's just kind of has all led up to here. So you have that story, and you're going to continue to weave that story into your posts. So like day in, day out. I mean, a good example too is I'm also an sugar addict. That is a huge part of my story, and it's always part of it. And I always struggle, and I always share about that on my social media. And so you're going to want to like weave this in. And once you get that story too, I'm like the notes. You guys, I've been living and dying by the notes on my phone and my computer for years. I'm always like doing the back and forth. So, I want you to use that notes. I have so many posts where I've shared my story that are on my notes. So I'm not like constantly rewriting it, and I'm able to go in and like type in like a keyword. Like I have a love-hate relationship with my legs. I will go in, I'll type in legs, and then all my old posts will come up, and then I've got my content that I'm just constantly recycling. So again, that's part of your story. You don't have to keep rewriting it, but you're going to keep telling people, because the chances, so we have this, however many people that are following us, the chances that everybody's going to see it, you guys, I mean, there's very few, like it's low. I don't know what that percentage is, but the percentage is low of actually people who see your content. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I talked about my story like a couple of weeks ago, I can't share it again. So I want to say that. And then Rachel said something about our company is just, being authentic, being real, be you. Authentic, be real, be you. That's what you need to like write down in like lots of exclamation points. That's it. And that goes into that story. And one of the things that I absolutely love about social media now is stories. So Instagram stories, Facebook stories, same thing. This is where like I really give my audience like the real, the raw, the ugly. I have a story. Again, I was like thinking this morning, and I have a story that I need to tell them about something that happened this weekend, and I'm going to tell them, and because I share everything. It's kind of like a diary. It's like, dear diary, this weekend I had too much sugar, and da da da. So I love stories for that. So I am sharing, everything. You want to share emotions. you want them to see that you're a real person. You want them to be connected to you. So when they sign up with you, they want to feel like they're your best friend. Okay. Like, and that's what I typically find that happens is they feel like they know me so well that when I throw out I'm starting another round this month, they trust me. Like, your people need to know, like, and trust you. And the way they're going to do this is because they're going to really know who you are. If you're hiding behind, so I just want to throw this out there too. If I go to your Instagram feed and I did not see one picture of you and I did not like know who you were, and you were just throwing up like before and after pictures of like everyone, and things that you weren't sharing they're not going to really know you to want to sign up with you. That could be anyone. And while sharing stuff like before and after pictures in other people's story is definitely like that helps fill in, kind of feel like that's like the filler. It needs to be you. They really need to get to know you. So I don't want you to like hide behind this. I think Melanie, she's got somebody who creates content for her, but I guarantee that her content creator knows a heck of a lot about her. And she knows like all those pieces that content creator can help her with that. But that is like, you've just got to share this. And then weaving that into the faster way too, share that story and how the faster way has impacted your life. So I'm constantly talking about that too. And like Rachel said with workouts, now we all have our thing. I am really into working out. That is something that I've been into forever. So I do a lot of videos. I do a ton of video on my Facebook page and into my Instagram, IGTV type deal too. But that's my thing. Your thing, and then food is my thing too. I love eating, and I love making my food look pretty, and those are like my two big things. But your thing actually may be like gardening and something else, and it might not necessarily be related to food and fitness, but there's other people that are going to relate to you on those other levels, and kind of get to know you and then want to join you in what you're doing. So those are, let's see, there was one other thing that I was going to say. Oh, and then, okay. So then expanding, that was your big thing. That's the big thing too. You have to grow your network. And a couple things with this. I personally, Melanie said she uses a content creator. I have some help with growing my network. I actually have a company that helps me grow my network on Instagram, and I use Facebook. I have a business page, which I don't recommend that you guys do, but I started this business 5 years ago. I have done extensive training on ads and Facebook ads, and I have an ad that I've been running for 5 years that helps me bring in new people. But you have to grow that network. So whether it's here's the thing I love about growing our network is our referral business. Our affiliate business is such a great way to be able to like expand and reach into others. But in Instagram too, through hashtags and just connecting with people, and people find me through other people. And again, it's just that whole, I constantly have people being like, oh, my friend told me to go to your page because she loved your workouts, and then she ended up like signing up with me. Or my friend told me to go to your page because of, your recipes. And it's giving. So then, that's how that helps expand that. So there was a couple questions I wanted to answer that came through on the side there. Maybe I did answer them. I think there was, okay. I thought this was a good question. Somebody asked about difference in marketing with posts between stories and Instagram and Facebook. You guys, I don't do anything different. I at one time thought like I needed to have an Instagram post and I need to have separate on Facebook, and that is just like way too much work. No, thank you. So literally I do the whole write my if I'm doing a post, I write my post on Instagram, so I get all those, like, you know, those breaks. And the thing with the breaks is you have to hit return right after the last thing that you wrote. That gives you the break. And then I do the quick, like, share. It's linked to my Facebook page, and I just share it. There was a time when Facebook did not really like that, but now that Mark Zuckerberg owns Instagram, that isn't an issue. My Facebook posts get just as, you know, they get, you know, viewed just as much as they do when I link them together. So I have everything linked. I usually start an Instagram and I push it out to Facebook. My Insta stories are also linked to my Facebook stories. So that is literally all the same thing. I don't do anything different there. So that is it. I don't want to, I'm going to leave you with one more thing. You guys, it would be selfish of you not to share this, okay? Like, that is the too. We would be selfish to hold this amazing opportunity into ourselves and not share it with everyone else.
Thank you, Ellen. Ellen mentioned that she loves pretty food. And guys, my normal meals don't look as good as her, like, packed lunches. So, I mean, they are beautiful. So Ellen, thank you. One of the things that I love that stood out to me, like, your clients should know you, like you, love you, and trust you. And that's so important, you guys. Like, you'll be amazed. Like, social media gives you this small, as I said, a stepping stool of a platform. But what elevates that platform are your clients. When you, like, pour into them, you love on them, you invest in them, you'll be amazed. They will start sharing the content that you put up. They'll start creating their own content about you. It's incredible. And so social media is such an important platform, but again, you gotta make sure you're focused on those clients and loving on them, and just share yourself and be genuine, authentic, as she said. So to all my new coaches in our Accelerator program, this week we're going to be talking heavily about content. We're going to talk about the big, scary live videos, how to do them, and, you know, tips and strategies for those types of things. We'll also look into, like, as Ellen brought up, the stories and how do we do that. Just a number of wonderful things that we're going to dive into this week. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. One thing I just kind of want to leave you with, and then I'm going to give all my panelists an opportunity. If there's something that last minute they'd like to share real quick, I'll give them the opportunity to do that. But I want to encourage you guys as new coaches, like, this is something I tell all my new clients. Keep it simple. When you're starting off, keep things simple. Like, when you first start tracking your macros, you want to keep that simple, right? You're not going to put a gourmet menu or recipe into the MyFitnessPal app because it's going to get frustrating. So I encourage you, start off with the things that you already feel comfortable and confident in. That's not to say you shouldn't be growing, you shouldn't be learning in those areas that intimidate you, or those areas that you really do need to help excel or propel your business forward. But start with what you're confident in, and realize, like, give yourself grace to learn and grow. There's one thing I was going to mention too. Not Emily. Sorry about that. Abraham, Lord help me. Whitney Abraham always says this. She says, you know, don't let fear hold you back. She's one of our amazing coaches. Do it scared. So if you're not doing something because you're afraid of doing it, you got to let that go. You got to do it scared. All right. So do something you feel confident in, but don't let fear intimidate you. All right, ladies, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, for sharing your tips and strategies, and just for sacrificing time out of your day to give back to our new coaches. Like, this really, you guys are just showing us what living in community looks like. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Is there anything you'd like to share real quick before we kind of end this call? You just raise your hand if you got something. We're good? Okay, I don't see any hands flying up. Okay, all right. Well, guys, it's been a privilege. I know for each of us on here, our panelists, it's been a privilege to spend time with you today. I hope that this has been beneficial for you. I hope that you've been able to find something that you're able to take away and to learn and grow from. So we wish you the best of luck. Reach out to us. I'll make sure I put Instagram handles on here. So be sure to follow these ladies because you don't want to miss out on what they're sharing. So, all right, have a blessed day, guys.